Chapter 2585. Our 6 forces will each send out 70% of our forces. With this planet as our command, gather our forces and prepare to attack. The Sword King and Rank 9 Heavenly Sect Leader and Sky Mountain Sword Sect's orders rang out. Each force would send out 70% of their forces. With the current strength of the 6 forces, they would be able to gather around 2,000 immortal God Kings. And this was just the immortal God Kings and eternal God Lords. As for the number, it would reach over 1 million. After the plan was made, the experts of the 6 forces immediately gathered their forces. The first thing to do now was to destroy all the planets and bases of the 6 forces, excluding Dragonstar. When the 6 forces acted together, the entire South Star Galaxy felt it. After all, the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect and Sky Mountain Sword Sect were 2 top forces with deep foundations. In addition to the top 4 forces that were previously ranked in the top 10, everyone could sense it. The 6 forces could be said to be a third or fourth of the entire South Star Galaxy's strength. Moreover, the number of habitable planets under their control had reached a few thousand. Such a large operation couldn't be hidden. All the forces and people in the outside world were shocked by the alliance of the 6 great forces. From their point of view, the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were doomed this time. This is bad. These 6 forces can gather 2,000 immortal God Kings together. If they invade, how are we going to defend? Where did that bastard go? At the same time, in the Dragon Palace on Dragonstar, the Emperor Star Princess sat at the side of the Dragon King Hall, looking at the information on the smart computer. Dragon King and the rest should be in the abyss now. We can't contact them from there. Prime Minister Turtle frowned. They couldn't contact the Dragon King, and most importantly, most of the experts of the Dragon Palace were taken away. Only Sky Formation was in charge of the Dragon Palace now. There were only a few 6th Order immortal God Kings. Against the attack of the 6 forces, they could only defend passively. Prime Minister Turtle, Dragon Queens, we have to find a way to contact the Dragon King and the rest. Otherwise, we won't be able to defend against the attack of the 6 forces. The experts of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom said anxiously. The Dragon King and the rest aren't here. For now, guard the surroundings of Dragonstar. If they dare to attack, we'll just launch a sneak attack. Sky Formation looked at them and said plainly, Senior, if all of them were to attack, would Longxing be able to withstand it? The Emperor Star Maiden asked worriedly. No problem. Unless another force like Tianshan Sword Faction comes, they won't be able to break the defense of Dragonstar. Tianjin said calmly. That's good. At least the area around Dragonstar is safe. The Emperor Star Maiden nodded. She firmly believed in the Heavenly Formation's word. After all, this was the legendary God Emperor, the Sky Formation God Emperor who could sweep through the world. He was once the number 1 formation master in this brilliant vast thousand world. Right now, we can only defend passively. However, we can still afford to play with them. Prime Minister Turtle said coldly from the side. Even though Dragon King and the others weren't present, they still had 1,500 undying God Kings in Dragon Palace. Among these 1,500, there were more than 100 Spinosaurus species. More than 100 undying God King level Spinosaurus. If they really stepped into their domain and started a massacre, they would not be able to handle it. Someone on the AI said that the 6 great powers have already made their move. At this moment, the Emperor Star Princess looked at the AI and opened her mouth slightly. All members of Dragon Palace, prepare yourselves. Prime Minister Turtle stood up and his voice spread across the entire Dragon Palace. Let's go. There's a planet of the chaotic tiger demonic country ahead. Destroy it. Above a planet, hundreds of thousands of people rushed over through the teleportation formation. The star-piercing sword brought them into the void. At the front were 2 experts from Tianshan Sword Faction and Grade 9 Heaven Sect. They stared coldly ahead and said solemnly, destroy all their planets. Leave none alive. The leader of the 3 Seas sect said ferociously, let's go. The old man leading the Tianshan Sword Faction nodded and said immediately, whoosh. The star-penetrating sword immediately drew a snow-white, cold luster as it sped forward. I heard that those cowardly beasts of the chaotic tiger demonic country have all entered the 9 planets around Dragonstar. I wonder if it's true. An old ancestor from the Monster Slayer sect said solemnly. It's the planet ahead. A bunch of beasts, to think that you would have such a day. Everyone from the Monster Slayer sect roared with hatred. Half an hour later, a habitable planet appeared in everyone's line of sight. The entire planet was slightly silent, with only a few uncivilized beasts galloping about on its surface. Let me show you the power of the star-piercing sword. The people from the Tianshan sword faction grinned and said to everyone, clang, clang, clang. In the next instant, the entire star-piercing sword let out a series of metallic clangs, and a sharp light shone from it. The chilling aura caused all the Immortal King Realm Immortal Kings to feel a chill in their hearts. They immediately flew down from the star-piercing sword. Star-piercing sword. A 6th Order Immortal King Realm expert from the Tianshan sword faction shouted. Clang, clang, clang. Terrifying metallic light shone from the entire planet and revolved around the star-piercing sword. Whoosh. In the next instant, everyone saw the gigantic star-piercing sword turn into a beam of light and enter one of the planets of the chaotic tiger demonic country. Boom. Boom. In less than 10 seconds, the star-piercing sword pierced through the planet. Following that, a series of terrifying booms rang out. It was as if the entire planet had been filled with terrifying explosives. Boom. The incomparably huge star was like an exploding ball, directly sputtering in all directions. A planet that was still intact a moment ago was turned into fragments in an instant. All the living beings on it were annihilated. This was even more terrifying than the extinction of a planet. Sigh, what a powerful star-piercing sword. This power is comparable to a full-force attack from a 7th Order Immortal King Realm expert. The God Kings from the 9th Grade Heaven sect and the other superpowers stared at this scene in shock. Ha ha ha, the star-piercing sword's destructive power is indeed comparable to a 7th Order Immortal King Realm expert. Unfortunately, there aren't any chaotic tiger demonic country on this planet. Let's go to the next location. The experts from the Tianshan sword faction roared with laughter and said coldly, let's go to the main planet of the chaotic tiger demonic country and destroy it. We'll turn them into stray dogs. The Monster Slayer sect's sect leader saw this scene and roared in excitement. Slowly, there's no rush. What we want is to make the Dragon Palace and chaotic tiger demonic country feel fear and despair. Die in fear and despair. Chapter 2586. Boom, boom, boom. Amidst the resplendent starry sky, the stars exploded one by one. A huge sword of space pierced through the stars, turning them into dust in history. The Tiger Luon Demon Kingdom had dozens of planets, and not a single one was spared. Even their main planet, which had countless buildings on it, was completely destroyed. Some of the planets even had some sky demons hidden within, but they were all destroyed like the stars. A terrifying roar reverberated through the void, spreading far and wide. This is. What are the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, Tianshan Sword Sect doing? Someone in the starry sky noticed the huge commotion and flew over. When they saw the planets being destroyed, their faces were filled with shock. The planets exploded instantly. They are destroying the Tiger Luon Demon Kingdom's planet. An expert murmured, his eyes filled with shock. Directly destroying the planets, they were trying to completely destroy the other party. A planet was equivalent to a home, and the destruction of their home was absolutely irreconcilable. This news spread through the artificial intelligence system at a terrifying speed. Reporting to the king, Old State Preceptor, our planets have all been destroyed, all destroyed. In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, an expert reported to the Tiger Luon Demon Kingdom. When their planet was destroyed, they had already received the news. On our planet, there were many old sky demons who were unwilling to leave, but they were all killed. The sky demon expert roared with grief and indignation. Ka. They are too much. Destroying our planets, do they really think that we, the Tiger Luon Demon Kingdom, do not dare to fight them to the death? The Old State Preceptor immediately stood up and roared with rage, his voice filled with a violent aura. His chest was heaving up and down. This was their home, and it was destroyed just like that. Countless sky demons who had not left the planet were also killed. Old State Preceptor, don't worry, we will take revenge. Prime Minister Turtle and the rest stood at the side, their eyes flashing with a crazy killing intent. Summon all the spike dragon species, he roared, and the entire mysterious demon race rushed over. Now that the Dragon Palace had increased to nearly 400,000 members, the mysterious demon race had also increased to 40,000. These 40,000 mysterious demons had long evolved into spike dragon species. The weakest of the mysterious demons had the strength to assassinate an eternal divine master. The mysterious demon clan greets Prime Minister Turtle. Very soon, all the mysterious beasts arrived. There were more than 100 undying God King level mysterious beasts. All mysterious demons enter the planets of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sects and Heavenly Mountain Sword faction. A mysterious demon with the battle prowess of a God King. Bring a group of members and listen to my orders. Prime Minister Turtle commanded with killing intent. Once the enemy disregarded the lives on the planet and continued to destroy it, the Dragon Palace would no longer need to be restrained. As long as it was a planet belonging to the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect or the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, they would assassinate them at all cost. As long as they were members of their planet, they were enemies, mortal enemies. Battle was just like that. It's Prime Minister Turtle. The group of mysterious demons immediately responded. Their eyes were black and white, and their bodies emitted a cold aura. Leave immediately and wait for orders. Also, if you encounter any danger, immediately flee back to the imperishable divine nation. Prime Minister Turtle coldly ordered. Depart. The group of mysterious demons received the order and immediately flew out. As long as they concealed themselves and entered the planets of the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, it would be a piece of cake. Time passed slowly. The news that the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect had sent out experts to destroy the planets of the chaotic tiger demonic nation spread quickly. Seeing this situation, all the forces were in an uproar, and their hearts were filled with fear. Directly destroying the planet, this was the same as wanting to annihilate everyone on the opponent's planet. The Dragon Palace used to be in a remote place. If we fly there on the star-piercing sword, it will take about 10 hours, and we will need to pass through the Lawman Desolate Beast Garden. At this moment, in the void of the universe, the group from the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect immediately changed their target to the territory of the Dragon Palace after destroying dozens of planets of the chaotic tiger demonic nation. The sect master of the Monster Slayer sect looked at the map on the smart computer and roared with killing intent. It will take 10 hours. The experts from the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect raised their eyebrows slightly. Let's hurry over. The chaotic tiger demonic nation is just an accessory. The one who will pay the price is the Dragon Palace. Without any hesitation, they flew directly toward the edge of the South Star Galaxy. They were very fast, and while they were rushing over, the 40,000 mysterious demons entered the planets under the control of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect through various means. As the top forces in the South Star Galaxy, the two factions had the most profound foundations. They controlled hundreds of habitable planets, and some of the weaker planets were not included in their numbers. The two forces added up to 1,000 mysterious demons, and the 40,000 mysterious demons that entered were less than 100 planets. Compared to the number of passengers on a planet, this was completely negligible. After the mysterious demons entered, they immediately started to investigate the situation of the entire planet, especially for the mysterious demons of the Immortal King realm. If there were no Immortal Kings on a planet that could threaten them, they could also destroy a planet in a few minutes. We're here. The territory of the Dragon Palace is just ahead. According to our information, the Dragon Palace has occupied all the oceans in this remote place, and their base is in the ocean. 10 hours later, a huge sword pierced through the Lawman Desolate Beast Garden. The sect master of the Three Seas sect stared at a planet in front of him with bloodthirsty eyes. This remote place should all be related to the Dragon Palace. Kill them all. He continued ruthlessly. Kill them all. Isn't this a little too harming the innocent? A few immortal kings beside him frowned slightly. The Dragon Palace has occupied many planets in this area, and it's impossible to destroy all of them. However, we can destroy 1 or 2 planets to make them feel fear and anger. Let's destroy all the planets in front of us. The old man leading the Heavenly Mountain Sword sect said with a cruel expression, "Attack." He moved and jumped off the star-piercing sword. The rest of them jumped off as well. Clang, clang, clang. A sound like the end of the world was heard. On the planet in front of them, the people of the Iron Blood Alliance did not even have time to react before the star-piercing sword pierced through the planet. Following that, the end of the world arrived. Wong wong wong. At this moment, in the main Dragon Palace, when the Iron Blood Alliance's underwater Dragon Palace was destroyed, Prime Minister Turtle immediately received the news. The Dragon Palace was destroyed, and only an image was sent over. In the image, the entire planet exploded. All mysterious demons, attack, kill. When Prime Minister Turtle saw the news, his heart turned cold as he roared coldly. Chapter 2587, An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Prime Minister Turtle didn't expect Qianshan Sword Sect and Grade 9 Heavenly Sect to be so crazy. It was so cruel. The Dragon Palace only occupied the ocean, but they destroyed the entire planet. Since you want to kill, I'll kill with you. Prime Minister Turtle's eyes were bloodshot as he sent the order to all the mysterious demons. At the same time, Prime Minister Turtle took out the artificial intelligence system and made a statement in the name of the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Star. The Dragon Palace only occupies the ocean. The humans on the land don't belong to us. Since you destroyed billions of lives, don't blame us for giving you an eye for an eye. After making the statement, Prime Minister Turtle immediately flew toward a planet above the Dragon Star. Swoosh. What's going on? Did Qianshan Sword Sect and Grade 9 Heavenly Sect go to another planet? They destroyed the entire planet. This is too cruel. The Dragon Palace seems to come from a remote place where they are the strongest. However, it seems that they only occupy the ocean, and the land belongs to other forces. Could it be that Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and Qianshan Sword Sect destroyed the planet in the sky? Everyone in the South Star System was paying attention to the attack of the 6 major forces, including Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and Qianshan Sword Sect. Everyone was shocked when they saw the information released by the Dragon Palace. Ha ha ha. It seems like they are really angry. Now they know the consequences of offending us. What were you doing earlier? On the planet under the territory of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, the experts of Qianshan Sword Sect roared with a cold face. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, their King of Swords destroyed several vital planets and shocked everyone in the South Star System. This time, they would do the same to warn all the small fries. Ha ha ha. Good job. Good job. How dare you kill the experts of our Qianshan Sword Sect? I'll kill all of you. Kill them. Destroy all their planets. Leave no one alive. Kill, kill, kill. That's how it should be. Those who offend our Grade 9 Heavenly Sect must pay the price of death. Remember, don't have anything to do with the Dragon Palace in your next life. Humph. All those who offend our Qianshan Sword Sect must pay a heavy price. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, our King of Swords destroyed a planet with one sword strike. It seems like some people have forgotten after so long. On the other hand, many disciples and citizens of the Grade 9 Heavenly Faction supported the sect's decision. They were the people of the Grade 9 Heavenly Faction of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect, and the power of their sect gave them a sense of glory. Someone had dared to provoke them, and the other party had been destroyed. Naturally, they would gloat and support them. This was the consequence of offending them. Orders received. Move out immediately. Kill. Orders received. Move out immediately. Kill. Begin the slaughter. While everyone in the South Star System was in shock and the experts of the Qianshan Sword Sect were excited about it, the artificial intelligence system got the support of the people of the Qianshan Sword Sect, a Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. The 40,000 mysterious demons had received the order. I only need 3 undyings on this planet, and they are weaker than me. In a minute, I can destroy the entire planet. On a planet of the Heavenly Mountain Sword faction, a mysterious demon hovered in the starry sky with violent murderous intent surging out from its body. Eternal night descend. He floated in the void and let out a low roar. Boom boom boom. In an instant, A terrifying law of darkness gushed out from the side of his body. The substantial law of darkness shrouded the planet below. What's going on? On the planet, everyone's expression changed when they saw the sudden darkness. Extreme daylight. He roared again, causing half of his body to shoot out a blinding light law of light. The entire sky above the planet was instantly covered by the eternal night and extreme day. All the beings on the planet raised their heads, their faces filled with shock. Not good, there's an enemy. The three undyings on the planet had a drastic change in expression as they flew up into the sky. Chaos descend. Explode. Blood for blood. The mysterious demon roared, its cold words entered everyone's ears. At the same time, the terrifying darkness and white light clashed together, creating a terrifying explosion. Boom, boom, boom. Below, the entire planet was affected by the shockwaves. In an instant, 10% of the planet was gone. With the mysterious demon's strength, it could destroy this planet in a minute and turn it into dust. Not good. Immediately request for reinforcements from the elders of the sect. An undying's expression changed as he roared. Just a moment ago, they were still gloating on the artificial intelligence system about destroying all the planets that the Dragon Palace was on. But in the next instant, their planet was being attacked. In fact, their planet might even face destruction. Already notified, the elders of the sect are rushing over. Let's stop him, stop him. An undyings on the side roared. At the same time, the other planets of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect and Tianshan Sword Sect were also being attacked and assassinated. However, the good thing was that it was difficult for Eternal Godlord level experts to destroy a planet. Moreover, most of the planets had undyings guarding them. The stronger ones of the mysterious demon were also taken away by the Dragon King, so it was very difficult to destroy a planet. However, while destroying a planet was difficult, assassinating it was very easy for the mysterious demon. On the 800 to 900 planets, in these few hours, the mysterious demon and the rest had already investigated many things. This time, they were completely targeting the disciples of the Tianshan Sword Sect and Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. The Tianshan Sword Sect and Rank 9 Heavenly Sect might only have a few tens of millions of core disciples, but the normal disciples had tens of billions. A group of mysterious demons were madly assassinating their normal disciples. As long as it was a disciple of the Tianshan Sword Sect or Rank 9 Heavenly Sect, even if you were at the God Realm, you would be assassinated. Especially the schools and subsects of the two factions, they were the main targets of the mysterious demon and the rest. After the order to kill was given, the feast began. Facing the atrocities of the Tianshan Sword Sect, they could only kill to stop them. Even if there weren't even 100 mysterious demons on a planet, they could still cause quite a bit of chaos when they assassinated. Especially the undyings of the mysterious demon, darkness and light covered an area, killing all the disciples of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect and Tianshan Sword Sect. In an instant, the entire Tianshan Sword Sect and Rank 9 Heavenly Sect fell into chaos. Bam! What's going on? Didn't we say to be on high alert during the war? Why did the people of the Dragon Palace still kill their way in? When the news reached the upper echelons of the two factions, everyone's expression changed drastically as they roared in anger. All the factions sent out 70% of their experts, and the remaining 30% were to guard their own planets and prevent the experts of the Dragon Palace from ambushing them. However, the news of their planets being attacked and their disciples being slaughtered came back. This made the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect and Tianshan Sword Sect even more furious. Chapter 2588. The Tianshan Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect are in chaos. Countless disciples were killed, and even a planet was destroyed. Shocking. Almost 80% of the planets of the two top forces are in chaos. Countless disciples were killed. It's like hell. A branch of the Tianshan Sword Sect. Hundreds of thousands of disciples were killed under the mysterious darkness and light. It's too terrifying. The revenge of the Dragon Palace has begun. The mysterious black and white creatures are the disciples of the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace is taking revenge. The flames of war spread to thousands of planets. Such a horrifying incident instantly shook the entire South Star system. After all, thousands of planets were in chaos. Moreover, a planet was destroyed. Such an incident made the entire South Star system boil. Therefore, everyone knew that this was the revenge of the Dragon Palace. The 6 major forces joined forces to destroy our planets. Then, we will kill our way back. However, what shocked everyone was that the experts of the Dragon Palace were too terrifying. The Tianshan Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect had obviously made some preparations, but the experts of the Dragon Palace still sneaked in and started a massacre. One could imagine that the experts of the Dragon Palace were not simple. Go and support them immediately. Hurry, kill all those assassins. Kill them all. Don't let them escape. In the territory of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, the experts of the 2 major forces were immediately summoned back to the planets where the 6 major forces were gathered. Their eyes were bloodshot, and their faces were extremely ugly. This time, they had wanted to make the Dragon Palace feel fear and despair. However, they had suffered huge losses in the end. According to the information sent from various planets, countless disciples were killed or injured. This was the future foundation of the 2 major forces. They were heartbroken to lose so many of them. Boom, boom. One by one, the experts landed on the planets. When they saw the chaotic planets, they roared and charged forward. However, when the mysterious demons saw the powerful god kings, they immediately returned to the dragon cave of the Dragon Palace. The entire raid lasted only 5 minutes. In some places, it didn't even take 5 minutes. However, in these 5 minutes, hundreds of planets were in chaos. Swish, swish. One by one, the mysterious demons returned from the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle stood in front of the Dragon Cave and waited quietly. Reporting to Prime Minister Turtle. All the disciples of the mysterious demons have returned. More than 1,000 of them were killed. A powerful Spinosaurus walked over and reported to Prime Minister Turtle. More than 1,000 disciples have fallen. Prime Minister Turtle murmured, and his expression did not look good. It had been a long time since the Dragon Palace had suffered such a huge loss. Take a break and wait for orders. Bring the soul returning wood to the various planet. Turtle Deputy said to a 5th Order God King Realm Sly Demon before heading into the Dragon King Hall. At the same time, he issued a warning in the name of Dragon Palace. If the planet where the Dragon Palace is located is destroyed, the Dragon Palace will kill everyone from the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, and the other 4 forces at all cost. After the announcement, he waited quietly in the Dragon King Palace. Hiss, is that a warning from the Dragon Palace? I heard that the assassinations just now were all aimed at the disciples of the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect. If they targeted everyone in their domain, it would be terrifying. At the very least, hundreds of millions of people would be killed. At the very most, billions would be killed. The most important thing is that the Dragon Palace's strange creatures are too good at hiding. They seem to be able to avoid the planet's detection and defend. The 6 forces have so many planets, it's impossible to guard against them. Just a moment ago, the people from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect were shouting that they should be killed. Why aren't they shouting now? When the Dragon Palace's announcement was made, everyone was discussing it. Some were shocked, some were gloating. Bam! Summon them immediately and prepare to attack Dragonstar. On the planet where the 6 forces were located, the sect leader of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect slammed the table angrily. His face was filled with embarrassment. The strange creature's assassination had indeed threatened them. If the Dragon Palace really went all out, they would also suffer heavy casualties. Moreover, some of the people in their domain would move to other planets to settle down. Now, it was impossible to destroy the Dragon Palace's base bit by bit to instill fear and despair in them. This time, we'll attack them directly and kill them all. There's no need to waste time with them. The experts around him echoed in agreement. If they continued to waste time, they would only suffer losses. The Dragon Palace has really pissed me off. The Sword King wiped the blood sword in his hand. His face was filled with bloodlust. All forces, get ready. We'll attack Dragonstar in one day. The sect leader of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect roared coldly with a gloomy face. The hatred between them and the Dragon Palace had increased. They swore that they would destroy the Dragon Palace and make blood flow for billions of miles. Yes. The experts of the other forces nodded in agreement, feeling slightly fortunate. If the target of the assassination wasn't the planet under the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect, but them, their losses would be even greater. Heh. At the same time, far away in the area where the Ironblood Alliance used to be, the experts of the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect received the news, and their faces instantly darken. Damn it. How dare they assassinate the people on our planet and destroy a planet? Let's go back. Their faces were extremely ugly. They stopped their actions and returned immediately. For a moment, the entire Southstar galaxy fell into a strange silence. This was the calm before the storm. The Dragon Palace had sent experts and disciples to the planets under the control of the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect and the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect to assassinate so many people. Soon, the storm between the two forces would blow up. Within the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle was overseeing things. He wasn't too worried about what would happen next. On a planet above the Dragon Star, Sky Array was calmly lying on a high platform, drinking tea and playing with the artificial intelligence system. Sky Array did not care about the possible attack from the six forces. He was the strongest array master in this resplendent Great Thousand World, and one of the top Void God Emperors. On the artificial intelligence system, everyone was discussing fervently, and the armies of the six forces were also gathering rapidly. Within the abyss, Wang Xian had no idea of what was happening outside. As for the current Dragon Palace, he was still relatively assured, mainly because he believed in the strength of Sky Array God Emperor. Dragon Palace and Dragon Star could not be breached without at least a dozen 7th Order Immortal King Realm expert. 10 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Alright, bring out the dragon blood. This time, we'll strive to kill more abyss species. In front of the peak of the abyss species, Wang Xian looked at the 6 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts who had broken through, and his face revealed a trace of excitement. Chapter 2589, It's Dragon King. Within the abyss, in front of the giant peak, Ao Chitian, Ao Chi, and the rest took out the dragon blood and placed it in the void. After Wang Xian set up the concealment formation, Roving Heavens and the rest immediately went into hiding. This time, even if 5 or 6, or even 6 or 7 of them came, they would still be able to kill him. Wang Xian murmured. Previously, when they encountered 4 7th Order Undying God King Realm Abyssal species, they had to flee. This time, unless there were 7 or 8 of them, they would be able to kill them quickly. Ga ga ga. In less than 10 minutes, roars could be heard. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and fixed his gaze on the location of the giant peak. 1, 2, 3, 3 Undying God King Level 7 Abyss species, instantly kill. Wang Xian stared at the abyss species that was flying towards him. His eyes were gleaming. Among the 3 Level 7 abyss species, there were 10 on Wang Xian's side. Among them, apart from the spiky dragon roving demon, there was another one whose combat power had risen to level 7. Instantly killing 3 wasn't a problem. We're here. The speed of the abyss species was very fast. In an instant, they had entered the attack range of Wang Xian and the rest. Gu. At this time, one of the 3 Undying God King Level 7 abyss species suddenly stopped, as its huge eyes scanned Wang Xian and the rest warily. It let out a low growl. Attack. Wang Xian ordered without any hesitation. Boom boom boom. The next moment, a terrifying attack enveloped all the abyssal species. Thousands of abyss species and 3 rank 7 God King abyss species were instantly covered. Gugugu. The 3 7th Order Immortal King Realm abyss species let out roars of terror as they sensed Wang Xian and his group. They turned around and tried to escape. Su. At the next moment, Roving Demon and a crafty demon appeared beside an Undying God King rank 7 abyss demon and attack. That abyssal species had many terrifying hairs. In an instant, the hairs stood up and attacked Roving Demon. Pu. While he was blocking Roving Demon's attack, another Spinosaurus instantly pierced through his body from behind. The two of them froze. Pu. In front of him, Roving Demon broke through his defenses, and the power of light and darkness also entered his body. All right. When Wang Xian saw Roving Demon and the rest finishing off one in an instant, he burst into laughter. On their side, The four of them besieged an abyssal species of the same level and completely trapped it. Roving demon, all of you come over and kill him as soon as possible, Wang Xian shouted out loud. To kill it quickly, it would depend on the spiky dragon species. With the help of Wang Xian and the rest, roving demon and the rest could almost kill them with a single strike. Pu. Two undying god king rank 7 abyss species were easily killed in 20 seconds. As for the rest of the abyssal species, they were easily annihilated. Dragon King, there are 13 tier 6 beasts. Not bad. Ao Xie and the others kept the corpses and said with smiles on their faces, very good, let's change positions and continue. A smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. Just these corpses alone could increase the Dragon Palace's strength to the 7th level Immortal King realm. Whoosh. Everyone moved and immediately flew in another direction. Continue. After setting up the formation, he placed the dragon blood to the side. Then, they waited quietly. This time, 10 minutes later, another 2 undying god king rank 7 abyss species flew over. A smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. They were easily killed. Within a short period of time, the corpses of 5 undying god king rank 7 abyss species were in his bag. Continue. However, their luck was not as good next. After changing to another location, the dragon blood did not attract any more abyss species. This made him frown slightly. What's going on? Could it be that all the abyss species in the mountain have been lured out? There are no more. It shouldn't be. He looked at the incomparably huge abyss mountain in front of him and raised his brows. The entire mountain was comparable to a huge planet. Wang Xian had killed about 10,000 abyss species. Based on his estimation, there should be more than this amount. Should we go in and check it out? Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and looked at roving demon and the rest. Let's go, let's get closer to this mountain. Be careful and pay attention to the surroundings. Wang Xian said. Yes, Dragon King, roving demon and the rest nodded their heads. Wang. The 10 of them concealed themselves and approached the giant peak cautiously. The closer they got, the more they could feel the majesty of the mountain. In front of it, they felt insignificant. Yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes. As they got closer, Wang Xian immediately opened his dragon eyes and scanned ahead. This mountain is extremely sturdy. Even a 7th level Immortal King would need 1 to 2 years to destroy this mountain. Sensing the mountain blocking his sight, he mumbled to himself. Looking at the entrance of a cave, his body moved and he immediately landed in front of it. The entire cave was a few dozen kilometers long. Looking from the cave entrance, one could see that it was hollow after a few dozen kilometers. Looking over, he did not see anything. Wang Xian moved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in front of him. Gradually, the grindstone concealed itself and flew straight in. When the 5 elements grindstone entered, the scene inside appeared in his sight. This is. Looking down, he revealed a tinge of surprise. Inside the mountain, the top was hollow and there was nothing. However, below was a sea of fire. No, it was magma that was so red that it was almost black. The magma was viscous and looked like a swamp. However, one could sense the horrifying temperature within. The interior of the mountain was about 100 million kilometers wide. On the surface of the magma, one could see many abyss species. Seeing that the surroundings were safe, he entered the cave and kept the 5 elements grindstone before looking down at the magma. Suddenly, a series of roars came from the entrance of a cave below. Looking over, he saw 5 to 6 7th level Immortal King abyss species flying out from the cave entrant. Behind them, there were 7 to 8,000 underlings. They flew above the magma and stared coldly at the magma. As they flew, they roared. Finally, one of the abyss species could not hold it in any longer and flew towards the magma. The rest of the abyss species followed closely behind. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Soon, sounds of battle could be heard from within the magma. Wang Xian revealed a shocked expression. This is. There are many abyss species in the magma. They are killing each other. No, they are fighting for the treasures. Wang Xian looked over with the yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes and was shocked. The abyss species that rushed down were obviously heading towards the bottom. However, There were dark red abyss species blocking them. Chapter 2590. The abyss species usually have a leader leading a group of underlings. The situation in this peak is a little different. From the beginning till now, there are more than 10 different types of abyss species. That means they are not from the same race. The ones in the lava below the peak are the real race. Wang Xian stood above and looked down. There was an abyss species in the lava with a dark red body. The dark red abyss species was 1,000 meters in size and had a pair of horns. They looked extremely ferocious. They attacked the other abyss species that entered their territory. At the bottom of the magma, one could vaguely see a tree with fiery red fruits growing on it. The abyss species that charged in were after these fruit. There are so many abyss species trying to snatch the fruits inside. It seems like the fruits of the tree are more attractive to abyss species than the dragon blood. Wang Xian murmured. Since there were living beings in the abyss, there would naturally be treasures. The fact that this peak could attract so many abyss species meant that the treasures inside must be very valuable. Are there no rank 8 undying God King abyss species here? Wang Xian murmured as he looked down. Based on his conjecture, there should be even stronger abyss species here. Wait here. Wang Xian murmured as he continued to wait. The battle below was extremely intense. Abyss species were killed and devoured one by one. A few rank 7 undying God King abyss species were trying to break out of the lava. The entire lava was in chaos. Roar at this time, Wang Xian heard another series of roars from above him. 3 to 4 rank 7 undying God King abyss species led a few thousand underlings as they charged down. Wang Xian was slightly shocked and immediately hid in the cave. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Another 4 rank 7 undying God King abyss species charged into the lava, causing the battle to become even more intense. I wonder if there are rank 8 abyss species inside. If there aren't, I can go in and fight. Wang Xian revealed a hesitant expression as he looked down. Wang Xian had 10 rank 7 undying God King members. Speaking of which, the 10 of them could fight against a rank 8 God King. There were many rank 7 abyss species below Wang Xian. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. At most, I'll just run. Wang Xian made up his mind. Fuck. Now that their forces were not weak, even 3 or 4 7th order undying God King realm abyss beasts dared to charge in. Why wouldn't he? Get ready, let's go and take a look. The 5th and 6th grade members will follow as well. The weaker ones will wait at the back. Wang Xian ordered immediately. It's Dragon King. The group of Dragon Palace members nodded their heads. There's no need to hide it. You can't hide it anyway. With a move of his body, he directly flew down. At the same time, he let out a dragon's roar and transformed into a divine dragon. The body of a 20,000 meters divine dragon was revealed. Wang Xian swayed his tail and shrunk his body slightly to 1,000 meters. Behind him, roving heavens and the rest transformed into their battle forms and followed closely behind Wang Xian. Let's take a look at those fruits first. If there are any abyssal species obstructing us, kill them directly. Wang Xian transmitted his voice to them. Bam! After entering the magma, Wang Xian flew directly towards the trees in the magma. This was an incomparably huge tree, tens of thousands of meters tall in the magma. The fiery red fruits on it supported the space, looking incomparably resplendent. When they rushed in, 4 to 5 dark red abyssal species flew over from below the magma. Each of them had the combat strength of a 7th level immortal king. Behind them, there were thousands of abyssal species below 7th level immortal king. This abyssal species is really strong. There are already 10 of them fending off the other abyssal species. Now, 4 to 5 more are flying out from below. This abyssal species is not simple. Wang Xian's eyes shone brightly. Kill them, at the fastest speed. Wang Xian let out a low roar and clawed at the abyssal species that were flying over. The few abyssal species revealed extremely violent expressions. They spat out a wave of law of fire from their mouths and swept towards Wang Xian and the rest. Let's kill one first. Wang Xian also opened his mouth and spat out the same law of fire. Boom! Violent collisions resounded. With the surrounding magma as a buffer, their attacks could only affect a radius of 100 kilometers. Roving Heavens and the rest immediately released area of effect attacks towards the few abyssal species. Fut. Roving Demon and the rest hid in the magma. With a strange movement, they instantly killed a 7th level abyssal species and kept its corpse. Great! Wang Xian's eyes lit up. Just as the 7th level abyssal species was killed, a violent roar came from below. Wang Xian's pupils constricted slightly. Around him, the abyss species that wanted to enter also trembled and looked inside. An abyssal species with combat strength of 8th level. Wang Xian looked down and his heart skipped a beat. The surrounding abyssal species that rushed in let out indignant roars and turned to escape. Forget it, we're not a match for them. Wang Xian looked over and shook his head slightly. A 8th level Immortal King abyssal species and over a dozen 7th level Immortal King abyssal species were not a match for them at all. His figure also moved and he immediately fled into the sky. Roar! The 8th level abyssal species below stared at Wang Xian and the rest with its blood-red eyes. When it saw them escaping, it let out an angry roar. However, it did not chase after them. It didn't chase after us and didn't come out of the magma? Wang Xian looked over and raised his dragon eyes. He looked down and immediately focused on the abyssal species that were flying towards the sky. There were about 10 of them, divided into 3 races, and each of them flew towards the surrounding caves cautiously. Attack! Attack them! Wang Xian saw this and was delighted. Although he was not a match for the abyssal species below, he could easily wipe out the abyssal species dragon palaces above. He locked his eyes on the abyssal species with 4 immortal king gods and charged over. Roar! When the abyssal species saw Wang Xian and the rest attacking, they were infuriated. In the narrow space of the giant peak, it was not easy for them to escape. Hence, they charged over angrily, courting death. Wang Xian's eyes were cold as he waved his dragon claws to meet the abyssal species. The 4 abyssal species still wanted to challenge Wang Xian and the rest. In less than 2 minutes, they were all killed. He looked towards the top of the giant peak and his eyes shone brightly. Let's go. If the abyssal species below don't come out, we can totally wipe out the other abyssal species here. Chapter 2591. Entering the peak. Although they did not manage to enter the core, the rewards were beyond their expectations. Located in the caves of the peak, there were 5 to 6 abyssal species, and over 27th order Undying God King Realm abyssal species. Wang Xian and the rest swiftly killed the species within the peak. When they annihilated the 3rd species, Wang Xian found it a pity that the rest of the abyssal species had already escaped. Dragon King, we've harvested a total of 15 7th order Undying God King Realm abyssal species, 46th order Undying God King Realm abyssal species, and over 1,000 abyssal species of varying strength. Inside the peak, Wang Xian and the rest had cleared out the abyssal species, and Aosia and the rest came to report with smiles on their faces. What a great harvest this time! Wang Xian's eyes were filled with excitement. With these abyssal species, Dragon Palace's strength would be enhanced to a whole new level. Let's go back. He smiled, and said to the members of Dragon Palace. Yes, Dragon King. The group immediately flew towards the entrance of the abyss. From the time they entered to the time they came out, they had only stayed here for 5 to 6 days. And in these 5 to 6 days, the harvest was terrifying. This was mainly because Wang Xian and the rest were lucky to have encountered such a unique nest of abyssal species. Just as Wang Xian was flying towards the abyss, within the territory of rank 9 heavenly sect, an incomparably huge army floated in a hidden space. In the center of the army was a humongous star-piercing sword, and on both sides of it, there were 10 humongous war pet. Each war pet was 5 to 6,000 meters in size, with a wingspan of over 10,000 meters. Star Vulture, a group of 4th order Undying God King war pets, each of them exuding a powerful savage aura, their sharp eyes staring coldly ahead. On top of the Star Vulture stood tens of thousands of experts, holding bows and arrows in their hands, standing there coldly. This was a rank 9 heavenly sect army, also known as the Sky Hunting Arrow Army. With the Sky Hunting Arrow in their hands, the entire army launched an attack together, easily piercing through a star. Behind them were experts standing on sharp swords, their clothes fluttering without any wind, each of them like a lifeless divine sword. Tianshan Sword Sect's Divine Sword Army. Behind them were the disciples of the 6 major forces. On top of the star-piercing sword stood a group of Undying God King experts. 2,000 Undying God King experts stood coldly in the sky. Disperse and set off for the Dragon Planet. In the lead, the sect master of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect roared with a face full of killing intent. This time, the 6 forces had sent out all their experts. Tianshan Sword Sect and Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's 9 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts were all sent out. Their army could sweep through any force in the South Star system. Kill, kill, kill. All the disciples immediately roared. Their killing intent soared into the starry sky, and the entire void seemed to solidify. Gather on Dragonstar in 2 days. Seal off all information and prevent them from escaping. Sword King said coldly. Yes. All the experts and disciples responded immediately. The entire army immediately spread out and flew into the void. If they were to attack Dragon Planet, they could not just charge in with great fanfare. If all the people from Dragon Palace escaped, they would be in vain. Therefore, if all the disciples flew through the void, they would be able to reach the void around Dragonstar in 2 days. They wanted to seal off the entire space so that no one on the Dragon Planet could escape. The 6 forces had made their move, but there was no news about them on the artificial intelligence system. Occasionally, someone would announce that the armies of the 6 forces had begun to gather, and it seemed like they were preparing to attack Dragon Planet. But what they did not know was that the armies of the 6 forces had already spread out and were flying towards Dragon Planet. This time, the 6 forces were completely determined to destroy everyone in Dragon Palace. Otherwise, based on their usual style, they would have gathered an army and flown over with great fanfare. Their might would shake the entire South Star system. Phew. I'm out. A day later, Wang Xian came out of the abyss with a smile on his face. Wong wong wong. However, as soon as he came out, the artificial intelligence system started to send him messages, information about the group of girls, the Emperor Star Maiden, and the Turtle Prime Minister. When he opened the messages, he raised his eyebrows slightly. Tianshan Sword Sect and Grade 9 Heavenly Sect have joined forces and destroyed all the planets in Chaotic Tiger Demon Country, as well as one of the planets that used to belong to the Iron Blood Lion. Looking at the messages above, his eyes shone with a cold gleam. Go back directly, Wang Xian said to Roving Heavens and the rest, and his figure gradually disappeared. Wang. In an instant, he returned to the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace. Get Prime Minister Turtle here. After returning to the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian sensed that Prime Minister Turtle wasn't around. He immediately instructed Roving Girl, Dragon King, you're finally back. I'll inform Prime Minister Turtle. Seeing Wang Xian return, Roving Girl beamed with joy. Xiao Xian. At this time, the girls sensed his arrival and immediately flew towards the Dragon King Hall, shouting in surprise. Wow, Wang Xian, you're only back now. Do you know what happened? Emperor Star Lady looked at Wang Xian and said with displeasure, nothing. Wang Xian smiled faintly and shook his head. Greetings, Dragon King. At this time, Prime Minister Turtle received the message and rushed over from the Dragon Palace in Dragon Planet. He greeted Wang Xian. Tell me about the situation. Wang Xian asked Prime Minister Turtle. Dragon King, not long after you left, Tianshan Sword Sect said that you killed a group of their experts and wanted to annihilate us. Subsequently, they joined forces with the Grade 9 Heaven Sect and 5 other forces and sent people to destroy all the planets in the Chaotic Tiger Demon Country. They even sent people to destroy the planets and bases of our Dragon Palace. I sent all the mysterious demons to the planets of Grade 9 Heaven Sect and Tianshan Sword Sect for revenge. About 1,000 mysterious demons were killed. There's still no news from the 6 major forces. I guess they're preparing to attack. Prime Minister Turtle reported immediately. As Wang Xian listened, a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. He wasn't being careless when he killed the people from Tianshan Sword Sect. In his opinion, Tianshan Sword Sect needed to be prepared if they wanted to deal with the Dragon Palace. Besides, Dragon Planet could withstand the attacks of the other party. Dragon Palace could also withstand the attacks of the other party. Therefore, he didn't take Tianshan Sword Sect seriously. However, what he didn't expect was that the other party would destroy their planets and even head to the starry sky of Tianza continent to destroy the planet. Summon the leaders of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he ordered Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Dragon King, we've discovered several powerful armies approaching us from the surroundings of Dragon Planet. At this time, an anxious voice sounded. Chapter 2592, Huh? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows when he heard the report from an official of the Dragon Palace. Let's head over and take a look. As Wang Xian spoke, he made a move and flew out immediately. The planet where the Dragon Palace was located used to be the planet of the Three Seas sect. In order to prevent this planet from being destroyed, Prime Minister Turtle had moved it to the side of the Dragon Planet, within the coverage of the formation. When Wang Xian flew to the sky, he looked around and saw many armies gathering in the void. At the forefront, a huge star-piercing sword was pointing at the Dragon Planet, emitting a chilling metallic aura. Around it, huge battle pets were flapping their wings and circling around the planet. Above the battle pets, cold archers stood. At the back, experts stood on sharp swords. There were hundreds of thousands of them. Looking at them, one would be in awe. From all directions, one powerful army after another gathered in this direction. Millions of people were scattered around, and each of them was no weaker than an eternal God Lord. They were the core disciples of the 6 major forces. Dragon King, you're finally back. The experts of the 6 major forces are attacking. They deliberately hid the news to catch us off guard. The group of experts from the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom noticed Wang Xian and flew towards him anxiously. Don't worry. They can't break the formation of the Dragon Planet. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. What should we do now? Just watch them attack us? The old master of the Tiger Demon Kingdom asked with a bitter expression. The planet was destroyed, and they could only hide here. They were no different from homeless dogs. Let them fight. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he looked at the people of the Tiger Demon Kingdom. Don't worry. They will pay a heavy price soon. Don't worry, just wait patiently. It won't be long. With your words, Dragon King, we can rest assured. The king of the Tiger Demon Kingdom smiled. Dragon King, shall we not do anything today? Given our strength, we can. Roving Heavens and the rest hesitated before asking. If we don't do anything, they have at least 8 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. We won't be able to stop them. He shook his head slightly. Dragon King, the leaders are here. At this moment, Prime Minister Turtle flew over, followed by the leaders of the Dragon Palace. Go to the dragonization pool and bring a few more spike dragons, starwood dragons, and heavenly lightning earth and fire dragons and phoenixes. Wang Xian looked at the group of leaders and continued to instruct Prime Minister Turtle. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded his head. Wang Xian moved and came to the dragon transformation pool in the Dragon Palace. With a wave of his arm, he placed all the corpses of the abyssal species to the side. There were 15 level 7 Undying God King Abyss type corpses, 40 level 6 Undying God King Abyss type corpses, and over 1,000 different types of Abyss type corpses. This amount of resources was enough for the Dragon Palace to have at least 27th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Once it was upgraded, the Dragon Palace would possess the power to dominate the entire South Star Galaxy. Let's go in and improve our strength, said Wang Xian to the leaders of the Dragon Palace. It's Dragon King. All the leaders had excited expressions on their faces as they dived into the dragon transformation pool. Dragon King, with so many resources, once we upgrade, our Dragon Palace will be able to annihilate those 6 forces. Prime Minister Turtle's eyes sparkled as he said excitedly. Let's level up first. Wang Xian nodded his head. Ha ha ha, all the beasts of the Dragon Palace, Huluan Demon Country, come out and face your death. At this moment, an incomparably violent voice reverberated through the entire starry sky. Everyone on the surrounding planets could hear it clearly. When Wang Xian heard this voice, he raised an eyebrow. Seeing that the members of the Dragon Palace had started to level up, he moved and came to one of the 9 planets above the Dragon Star. Just as he arrived, he could feel an extremely cold and violent aura. He looked to the front. The star-piercing sword was in the center, and over 1,000 undying god-king experts stood on it. There were 10 starry condor battle pets around it, and archers stood on them. Behind them was an army led by undying god-kings. Looking across, there were about 2,000 undying god-kings. The most eye-catching were the 9 middle-aged elders at the front of the star-piercing sword. Their eyes were as bright as the stars, and their dense killing intent caused the surrounding air to solidify. The 9 middle-aged elders stared coldly at the planets in front of them. A bunch of trash. You want us to go out? If you have the guts, why don't you attack us? 6 forces besieging us, aren't you ashamed of yourselves? Mph, you're worse than beast. Not far away, an expert from the chaotic tiger demon kingdom pointed at them and scolded furiously. Wang Xian smiled faintly and watched quietly. Ha ha ha, you really think we can't break this array? Dragon King, how dare you kill the experts and disciples of our Tianshan sword sect? Today will be the day you pay the price. On the star-piercing sword, an expert from the Tianshan sword sect roared furiously. You 2 arrogant beasts. Later, we'll skin you, pull out your tendons and bones, and put them in my god nation. An expert from the grade 9 heavenly sect roared coldly. Mph, don't talk so much nonsense. Break the array and kill our way in. The Sword King drew out his blood-red sword slowly and said coldly. All right, let's break the array. I want to see how many times this array can withstand our attacks. An old ancestor from the Tianshan sword sect said coldly. Last time, we were stopped by the array. This time, with everyone here, breaking the array won't be a problem. An old ancestor from the grade 9 heavenly sect said plainly. In that case, get ready to strike. An old ancestor from the Tianshan sword sect took 2 steps forward and a huge sword appeared in his hand. Get ready to strike. Break their array in one strike. The sect leader of the grade 9 heavenly sect raised the thunder hammer in his hand and roared. Yes. The millions of disciples roared in unison and responded in a loud voice. Rumble, rumble, rumble. In the next moment, waves of horrifying aura came from the front. Millions of experts unleashed all their aura. 2,000 immortal god kings didn't hide their aura at all. A wave of horrifying aura rushed towards the planet ahead. Damn it, let's run. Hurry up and teleport away. Why did the 6 major forces, including the grade 9 heavenly sect and Tianshan sword sect, suddenly come? SSS, what a horrifying aura. They're too strong. Almost all the experts from the 6 major forces are here. There must be at least 2,000 of them. Let's teleport to another planet. Dragon Star is doomed, and so is Dragon Palace. At the same time, in Dragon Star, hundreds of people who hadn't left in time saw this scene and felt the horrifying aura coming from above. They were horrified. All of them flew towards the teleportation array frantically to leave this place as soon as possible. Chapter 2593, Wonderful Pop-Up Window Free Reading. The 6 major forces have gathered in the sky above Dragon Star and are preparing to attack it. Dragon Star is finished. What? The 6 major forces have gathered on Dragon Star? Why isn't there any news on the artificial intelligence system? Looks like they want to wipe out the Dragon Palace in one fell swoop. The Dragon Palace has sent people to the rank 9 heavenly sect and Tianshan sword factions planets to massacre them. The 2 major forces are completely enraged and want to annihilate the Dragon Palace. It's over, the Dragon Palace is finished. That Dragon King is courting death, offending a rank 9 heavenly sect and Tianshan sword faction. It's a joint attack from 2 major forces. Which force can withstand it? There were a few hundred people on Dragon Star who had yet to escape due to various reasons. When they saw the 6 major forces gathering above Dragon Star and preparing to attack, they quickly used the teleportation array to escape. Soon, the news of the 6 major forces attacking Dragon Star spread throughout the artificial intelligence system. This time, everyone could see that the 6 major forces had concealed the news and used a very secretive method to enter Dragon Star's surroundings. They wanted to wipe out the Dragon Palace in one fell swoop. This shook the entire South Star system, but unfortunately, they did not know the exact situation on Dragon Star. Break for this Sword King, break for me. Break, break, break. At the same time, the Sword King and the other 7th Order Immortal God King experts flew into the sky. Their powerful divine artifacts surged with the terrifying power of law. Around him, the void was directly torn apart, forming a series of cracks. A series of terrifying attacks were launched towards Long Xing. The attacks of 9 immortal god kings tore a terrifying crack in space. Star-piercing sword, pierce. Below, an expert from the Tianshan sword faction roared as his hand landed heavily on the star-piercing sword. Wung, wung, wung. The star-piercing sword trembled as it pierced forward at a terrifying speed, as if it wanted to tear everything in its path apart. Attack. The surrounding star vultures roared as a storm of law energy surged forward. All the archers in the sky pulled their bowstrings to the maximum. Instantly, they pierced through the void and shot towards the dragon star. The vast and terrifying attacks in the surroundings had covered the entire world in front of them. This scene was even more terrifying than the arrival of Doomsday. Such an attack could instantly turn a star into a speck of dust. Ha ha ha. I'd like to see how your formation can withstand such an attack. The sect master of 3 Seas sect roared with a ferocious expression. The boundless terrifying might of the laws surged forward, blotting out the sky. SSS, this. Can it be blocked? This. How are we supposed to block this attack? The disciples of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom on the 9 planets of Dragonstar turned pale when they saw the terrifying attack. Some of the sky demons even felt despair in their hearts. This attack could not be blocked at all. This attack is still lacking. Tianjin stood in the sky above a planet, calmly facing the attack that covered a radius of several billion kilometers. Buzz. He took out the array formation compass and gently moved it. The sound of leaves rustling could be heard in the surrounding void. A towering tree instantly appeared in the void. Its incomparably huge branches and leaves enveloped the entire world. The towering tree was like a solid substance, protecting the area. The experts of the Heavenly Mountain Sword sect snorted coldly when they saw the towering tree. Boom. Boom. In the next moment, the dense and endless attacks landed on it, causing the tree to tremble slightly. This blocked it. This formation actually blocked it. Down below, the disciples of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom saw that all their attacks had been blocked outside, and their faces were filled with shock. What? How is this possible? Up above, the experts of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, the Tianshan Sword Sect, watched as their attacks slowly dissipated and the towering tree remained unchanged. Their faces were filled with shock and embarrassment. The combined attack of millions of them couldn't even break it. This made them feel that it was inconceivable. Continue the attack. When the Sword King saw that the attack was blocked and the star-piercing sword was stopped in front of the towering tree, his expression changed and he roared loudly. Continue the attack. The experts of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect also roared with sullen expressions. Previously, they had already witnessed the powerful defense of Dragonstar. However, this time, the attack power had increased by several times and still couldn't break it. This gave them a bad premonition. However, they didn't give up. The formation needed a huge amount of energy to block their attacks. Just because the first attack couldn't break it didn't mean that it couldn't break it in the second and third time. Attack. Boom. Boom. In the next moment, another terrifying attack that blotted out the sky flew towards the towering tree. A violent sound rang out, but this time, there was not the slightest change from the last time. The towering tree trembled slightly, but not a single crack appeared. All the attacks were blocked once again. Continue. The sect leader of the 3 Seas sect gritted his teeth and said, I don't believe that they can withstand dozens or even hundreds of our attack. Boom. 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 He released all his strength and formed a sword of law that slashed towards the direction of Dragonstar. Boom. Boom. In the next moment, continuous explosions sounded as the 7th Order God King Realm experts attacked one after another. However, not a single crack appeared on the towering tree. Attack together. 2 minutes later, one of the 7th Order God King Realm experts roared coldly as he waved his arm and formed a long spear with his law energy. Beside him, the other 8 7th Order God King Realm experts also formed a long spear with their law energy and attacked the same spot. Bang! 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 Sounds of collisions rang out as cracks appeared on the spot that was attacked. Damn it, we need at least a dozen 7th Order God King Realm experts to attack the same spot at the same time. Seeing that the crack that had appeared was quickly recovering, the experts from the Tianshan sword sect had ugly expressions on their faces. Millions of them had charged over, swearing that they would annihilate the entire Dragon Palace and make their blood flow for billions of miles. In the end, they couldn't even break through the defense. This was a blatant slap to their faces. Stop attacking, it's useless. The group of 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts noticed the problem and ordered the disciples around them with gloomy faces. What kind of defense is this? Why is it so strong? This defense is too terrifying. So many of us are attacking, but it's useless. Looking at the defense in front of them, the group of Immortal King Realm experts' jaws dropped as they exclaimed in shock. So many experts, yet they couldn't break through the defense. Chapter 2594. The atmosphere on Dragon Planet was a little awkward. The disciples of the 6 forces stood there and stared blankly at the powerful defense in front of them. If I can't break it, what should I do? Now, the entire South Star Galaxy knew that they were attacking Dragon Planet, but if everyone knew that they still couldn't break through the enemy's defense, it would be too embarrassing. Was it because they were too weak that 2 of the 4 forces could not break the defense of Dragon Planet? Or was the Dragon Palace too powerful? Damn it, if we can't break their defense, we can't do anything to them. The sect master of the 9th grade Heaven sect roared with a gloomy face. The enemy was right in front of them, but they couldn't do anything about it. This made them incomparably angry. He was full of confidence a moment ago, but now, what to do? There's another way. Use the transmission array to directly enter the interior of Dragonstar. Right now, the Dragonstar transmission array is not sealed. An old man from Tianshan sword sect said with a dark expression. This won't do. If they can set up such a powerful defensive formation, it doesn't mean that they can't set up a powerful killing formation. Once we enter, there will be great risks. Moreover, this might be a trap that they deliberately left behind. One of the ancestors from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect immediately shook his head. We are clearly much stronger than them, yet we feel so stifled. Those damn formation masters really deserve to die. An old ancestor couldn't help but curse. The Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire had at most 2 to 3 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. It would be a piece of cake for them to eliminate the other party, but because of the existence of this formation, they couldn't do anything about it. This kind of feeling was very sullen. There's another way. Based on the defensive power of this array, a dozen 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King Realm experts would be their limit. Unless we can find a few more 7th Order God King Realm expert. The sect master of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect said with a sullen face. That's impossible. Other than us, only the Heavenly Eagle Cloud Corporation and the Northgate Undying Celestial Dynasty have 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King Realm experts in the South Star system. Without enough benefits, they would never make a move. The Sword King gripped the blood sword in his hand and said in a deep voice, "Then what should we do?" An expert couldn't help but growl in a low voice. What to do? They didn't know what to do. If he couldn't even break through the opponent's defense, what else could he do? The atmosphere was heavy, and no one spoke. When the disciples saw this scene, they did not even dare to breathe. Phew, at present, there is only one way, and that is to completely seal off Dragon Planet and not let any forces or planets have any contact with it. I want to see how they can develop without all the resources. If we see any of them coming out, we'll send people to kill them. After a few minutes, one of the ancestors of the 9th grade Heaven sect said with a gloomy face. Since he couldn't break it and couldn't destroy it quickly, he could only seal it. Seal off all communication with the planet and destroy all their teleportation portals. Anyone who enters Dragon Planet will have to face their revenge. As long as the people of the Dragon Palace and Tiger One Demon Kingdom came out, they would send people to kill them. At present, this was the only way. All right. The rest of the experts gritted their teeth and nodded. This was the only way. Send someone to monitor this place. Even if a mosquito flies out, they must be monitored. The Sword King roared with an awe-inspiring face. Yes. The surrounding experts of Tianshan's sword sect nodded and immediately went to give the order. After everything was set up, everyone from the 6 forces left with gloomy expressions. Ha ha ha, a bunch of trash. Why are you all leaving? Didn't you say that you were going to destroy me today? You can't even break our defense here, and you dare to say that you want to destroy us? 6 trash, how dare you curse at us? On the 9 planets around Dragon Planet, the disciples of the Tiger One Demon Kingdom sneered when they saw everyone from the 6 forces leaving with ugly expression. Some irascible sky demons immediately cursed at the top of their lungs. When their voices reached the ears of the experts from the 6 forces, their faces turned extremely gloomy. Ha ha ha, Dragon Planet's defense is too strong. The Array Master of the Dragon Palace is too powerful. If the other forces in the South Star System knew about this, they would definitely be shocked. Millions of experts from the 2 forces couldn't break through our defense. I almost peed my pants just now. I didn't expect the expert from the Dragon Palace to be so powerful. I'm going to report this to the artificial intelligence system. I'm sure it will shock everyone. When the disciples of the Tiger One Demon Kingdom saw them escaping, they discussed excitedly. Some sky demons also reported what happened here to the artificial intelligence system. When the people on the artificial intelligence system saw the news, they couldn't believe it at first. That was the combined attack of 8 to 9 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts from the 6 forces. In their opinion, the news of Dragon Planet's destruction would reach them soon. At first, when they saw the news, they couldn't believe it. But as more and more news appeared, everyone was dumbfounded. Soon, when the Tianshan Sword Sect, Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, and the rest of the 6 forces returned without accomplishing anything, the entire South Star System was in an uproar. Dragon Planet's defense was able to withstand the attacks of the 6 forces. How terrifying was that? Some of the more daring people hesitated for a moment before using the teleportation array to reach Dragon Planet. When they didn't see anyone from the 6 forces around them, their faces were filled with shock. They really withstood the attacks. Hiss, the security of Dragon Planet is too heaven-defying. Crazy, crazy. If millions of experts couldn't break through, wouldn't there be more people coming to Dragon Planet in the future? Some people stood around the teleportation array and mumbled to themselves. They could already imagine that it wouldn't be long before Dragon Planet was filled with people. This caused those who returned to their houses to beat their chests and cry bitterly. This was too difficult for them. Dragon Planet had accomplished something that they thought was impossible time and time again. The South Star System was in an uproar. Countless people were teleported to Dragon Planet and flew into the sky, discussing among themselves. I've decided. I'm going to buy a house on Dragon Planet. I'm going to move my family here. Some people made up their minds. With such a safe planet and such a powerful cultivation ground, it was the perfect place to settle down. Look at the artificial intelligence system. The Tianshan Sword Sect, Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, and 4 other forces have issued a joint statement. They are going to seal off Dragon Planet. But right at this moment, a middle-aged man's shocked voice sounded. What? Seal off Dragon Planet? This. They are going to destroy all the teleportation arrays leading to Dragon Planet and warn everyone that anyone who enters Dragon Planet will be their enemy. Hiss, the 6 forces do have the strength to seal off Dragon Planet. Everyone opened the artificial intelligence system and their faces changed when they saw the information. Chapter 2595. Although the defense of Dragon Planet is very strong, their strength is much weaker than the 6 forces. Although the 6 forces can't break the defense of Dragon Planet, they can seal it. This is also what the Tianshan Sword Sect and the 9th Grade Heavenly Sect can do. Moreover, they have the strength to seal Dragon Planet. With this announcement, who would dare to come to Dragon Planet in the future? Who would dare to step into Dragon Planet in the future if they completely seal it? This is completely isolating Dragon Planet. Without any resources, it will be difficult for the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom to develop. It's not just difficult. They sealed Dragon Planet not only to prevent others from entering Dragon Planet, but also to send a message. If the disciples of the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom enter other planets in the future, they might attack them. Who would dare to let the disciples of the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom enter? This is forcing all the forces in the South Star system to isolate the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom and block all their development channels. In Dragon Planet, some people who entered frowned and discussed this news. Sealing Dragon Planet, isolating the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom. Even the North Immortal Celestial Dynasty and the Sky Eagle Cloud Group would not dare to violate the joint statement of the six forces. After all, anyone who was in contact with the Dragon Palace would be the enemy of the six forces. Who would dare? Let's go. The six forces will definitely make an example out of us. Whoever dares to stay in Dragon Planet will definitely be attacked by the six forces. Sigh, what a pity for the strong defense and training ground of Dragon Planet. The most important thing is that the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Demon Kingdom are too weak. If they could rely on their strength to resist the six forces would not be able to seal Dragon Planet. The group looked at each other, went to the teleportation device, and teleported out immediately. They did not dare to violate the blockade of the six forces. Damn it, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect and the Tianshan Sword Sect dare to seal us. Under their blockade, who would dare to come to Dragon Planet? When the disciples and experts of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom saw this announcement, their faces turned ugly. Once sealed, it would be a huge blow to them. Their development in the future would be a huge problem. Dragon King, after the six forces made their announcement, there was a problem with the teleportation device. All the customers who entered Dragon Planet have left. In the Dragon Palace of the Dragon Star, Prime Minister Turtle reported to Wang Xian. Just now, less than 10 minutes after the six major forces made their announcement, they sensed that the location on the other side of the teleportation portal had been destroyed. In other words, no planet could be directly teleported to Dragon Planet. And Dragon Star would not be able to teleport to other planet. Dragon Planet was isolated and suffered great losses. Ignore them. Let them continue to be arrogant. Here. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and smiled nonchalantly. This group of clowns won't be able to jump around for much longer. At the front, the group of experts from the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom also felt relieved when they saw how relaxed Wang Xian was. From the beginning, the Dragon King had shown them one miracle after another. Over time, as long as the Dragon King did not panic, they would feel much more at ease. Prime Minister Turtle, in the following month, send the Sly Demon to scout out the bases of the six superpowers, find out the location of the 7th Order Immortal King experts of the Heavenly Mountain Sword School and Grade 9 Heavenly Sec. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne, squinted his eyes and said plainly, "It's Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle nodded. He also knew of the Dragon King's plan. In fact, the Dragon Palace now had 11 7th Order Immortal King experts, including the Heavenly Arrays. With 11 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts, the Dragon Palace would definitely be able to retaliate when the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, Tianshan Sword Faction, and the other 6 major forces attack. Not to mention other things, killing hundreds of thousands of Eternal God Lord level disciples was a piece of cake. Even killing 400 to 500, or even 600 Immortal King experts was a huge possibility. But the Dragon Palace did not make a move. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and Heavenly Mountain Sword School initially wanted to annihilate the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, not allowing any of them to escape. Wang Xian had the same thought. When all the experts of the Dragon Palace become stronger, it would be the time for the Dragon Palace to take revenge. Once the Dragon Palace made a move, it would not be as simple as killing a few Immortal King expert. If they made a move now, the other side would be on their guard. 1 month later, he wanted all the experts of the 6 superpowers to not be able to escape. At that time, the strength of the Dragon Palace would cause a commotion in the entire South Star Galaxy. When will we be able to take revenge? This is so frustrating. The Emperor Star Princess said with slight dissatisfaction. She and the other girls looked at the information on the AI and expressed their anger. Now, the Emperor Star Princess had already treated the Dragon Palace as half her home. Very soon, they will pay the price. The girls laughed and said to the Emperor Star Princess. Although the Emperor Star Princess lived in the Dragon Palace, she was not qualified to enter many of the core areas of the Dragon Palace. The dragon transformation pool, the dragon cave, and the dragon throne were all places she could not step foot in. She did not know much about the secrets of the dragon palace. But the girls knew, so they were not worried at all. Many people on the AI said that the dragon palace is only slightly stronger in defense. If we can't break through this time, the dragon star will be destroyed sooner or later, and the dragon palace will be annihilated, she said. Although the 6 superpowers' failure to break through the dragon star's defense shocked everyone, they also saw one thing clearly, and that was the dragon palace's strength could not contend against the 6 superpowers. As long as they could contend against them, the dragon palace would not be in such a passive position, and would not be attacked and sealed by the 6 superpowers. If they were to fight a long battle, the entire dragon star and the entire dragon palace might be dragged down. Let them shout as much as they want first. Wang Xian smiled nonchalantly. We'll see after a month. After the 6 superpowers failed to break through the dragon palace's defense and announced the lockdown of the dragon star, time passed. No one dared to go near the vicinity of the dragon star. At this time, everyone knew that they had to keep their distance from the dragon palace. A month's time was just a snap of the fingers to this resplendent, vast thousand domains. When the last few experts of the dragon palace flew out from the dragon transformation pool, there was only a little dragon blood left in the dragon transformation pool. Wang Xian stood there, smiling as he scanned the area in front of him. There were a total of 31 people in the lead, each of them exuding a vast aura, and at the same time, a strong battle intent. All of them had the combat strength of a 7th-order immortal king. Behind them, there were hundreds of 6th-order immortal king dragon palace members. A month's time, it'll be fast. Wang Xian looked at his subordinates and murmured. The dragon palace has been passively defending, now. I wonder if the 6 superpowers are ready. Chapter 2596, Dragon King, we're ready. Inside the Dragon King Hall, over 2,000 Dragon Palace experts stood below. 31 of them. Prime Minister Turtle, how's the preparation on the mysterious demon's side? Wang Xian's gaze swept across the group of God King realm experts as he asked with a smile. Reporting to Dragon King, we've got a hold of 60% of the 6 factions God Kings, but 40% is still missing. Prime Minister Turtle reported immediately. That's enough. What about the group of 7th-order Immortal King realm experts? Wang Xian asked plainly. We've only confirmed 6 of them. We don't know the location of the other 3. Prime Minister Turtle paused for a moment before continuing. Dragon King, we can lure them over. If we can confirm their location, send people over to surround them. If we can't, assassinate their disciples to lure them over. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and said coldly. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded, then looked at the group of leaders and experts beside him. Carry out the plan immediately, move out in one day, he said with a cold expression. Yes, Prime Minister Turtle. The group of leaders and experts nodded, their eyes flashing with killing intent. They had been holding it in for a long time. Heavenly Array, how's the preparation for the array? Prime Minister Turtle looked at Heavenly Array and asked with a smile. It's enough, the Firehammer tribe has 2 Immortal King realm expert. Heavenly Array nodded indifferently. Spacelock Array, Black Hole Array, Heavenly Array had been preparing all along. The array compass could only be activated by those who understood array formations, but the Firehammer tribe was proficient in array formations. They could definitely activate the compass made by Heavenly Array. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and looked around with a smile on his face. Next, he just had to wait for the results. This time, all 31 7th-order Immortal King realm experts of Dragon Palace were mobilized. The reason why they waited for a month before making their move was to capture all of them in one fell swoop. A day passed quickly, and Prime Minister Turtle and the group of leaders and officials had come up with a detailed battle plan. For the 6 7th-order Immortal King realm experts that they already knew, Dragon Palace would send 18 7th-order Immortal King realm experts to kill them. As for the other Undying God King experts, the Dragon Palace also sent at least twice their strength. Other than the 7th-order Immortal God King realm experts, the 6 superpowers had around 45th-order Immortal King realm experts. However, there was still a huge gap between them and the Dragon Palace. As for those at the 5th and 4th level, The difference was even greater. Although the 6 factions had about 3,000 Undying God Kings, most of them were only at the First Order Undying God King. Enter the formation. One day later, in Dragonstar, Tianjin said to the members of Dragon Palace, "Yes." The group of leaders and their subordinates did not hesitate and directly entered the battle technique. Buzz. One by one, they entered. Soon after, they found themselves in the void. Let's go. 30 hours later, we'll act according to the plan. The group of leaders looked at the time on GNAO and said softly, "All right, let's go." Su su su. The 50,000 members of the Dragon Palace flew into the distance and disappeared into the vast void. In the starry sky surrounding the Dragon Planet, the experts sent by the 6 superpowers to monitor this place did not notice the members of the Dragon Palace at all. At the Dragonstar's transfer array, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest stared coldly at the few spots in the void. When the rest of the members of the Dragon Palace make their moves, clean up this trash as well, Prime Minister Turtle said indifferently. In the space of the South Star system, the members of the Dragon Palace sped through the space. With so many 7th Order Undying God King experts leading them, their speed was much faster. A few hours later, members began to leave the team one after another, quietly entering the planets one by one. There were over 1,000 planets under the control of the 6 superpowers. Among them, the planets of the Demon Slayer sect and 3 Seas sect were already occupied by the chaotic Tiger Demon country. However, the other 6 superpowers had quite a number of life planets as well. In a little more than a day, the members of the Dragon Palace reached the various planet. Especially the places where the Tianshan Sword sect and Grade 9 Heavenly sect were located, there were 10 7th Order Undying God King experts heading there. On the Tianshan Commerce planet and Grade 9 Heavenly sect's planets, the members of the Dragon Palace had also entered. The Tianshan Commerce planet was bustling with activity. This was a business planet with a long history, and it was recognized as one of the safest business planets in the South Star system. It had been hundreds of thousands of years since a large-scale battle had happened on this planet. There were very few disturbances, which resulted in the prosperity of this planet. Previously, when Wang Xian wanted to enter this planet, he was directly rejected outside. 30 hours is up, move out now. After 30 hours, the leaders of the Dragon Palace looked at the time and smiled. Tianshan Commerce Planet, move out. Grade 9 Heavenly Sect Commerce Planet, move out. The order to attack was given, and everyone was shocked. Move out. At the same time, in the middle of the Tianshan Commerce Planet and Grade 9 Heavenly Sect Commerce Planet, the mysterious Demons and Heaven's Eye Arrow unit launched their attack. Ah! Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, the group of mysterious demons and Heaven's Eye Arrow unit launched an attack on the disciples of the Tianshan Sword sect and Grade 9 Heavenly sect. The members of the Dragon Palace who launched the attack were not too strong. Most of them were below the Immortal God King realm. There were also some Immortal God King experts, but all of them could barely hold their own against the Immortal God King realm expert. Boom. The sudden explosion and the sudden attack were exceptionally eye-catching on the bustling planet. What's going on? Why is there an explosion all of a sudden? Someone is attacking the Tianshan Commerce planet. Someone is attacking. It's the members of the Dragon Palace. The experts of the Dragon Palace are taking revenge on the Tianshan Sword sect. The sudden attack caused panic within a radius of 1,000 kilometers. Countless people on the planet looked towards the location of the explosion with shock on their faces. What's going on? Shouldn't the 6 major forces be monitoring the members of the Dragon Palace? Why are they attacking here all of a sudden? Damn it! What is the purpose of the Tianshan Sword sect Commerce planet? Some customers shouted in panic and embarrassment when they saw the attack. Damn bastards from the Dragon Palace! How dare you attack us? Go to hell! On the business planet, the experts of the Tianshan Sword sect were enraged when they received the news that the experts from the Dragon Palace were here to cause trouble and assassinate them. At the same time, they were also shocked. Why did the other party suddenly enter their business planet? One should know that ever since the incident at the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect Commerce planet, the Tianshan Sword sect was fully prepared. But what they didn't know was that there were so many experts coming this time. Chapter 2597. On the Tianshan commercial planet, chaos arose as members of Dragon Palace attacked the Tianshan Sword Sect's disciples and the planet's guard. Due to the sudden ambush, a large number of Tianshan Sword Sect's disciples were killed. At the same time, the buildings on the Tianshan commercial planet were also destroyed. In the skies above Tianshan Sword Sect's core city, the experts of Tianshan Sword Sect sensed the commotion and flew over, their eyes filled with killing intent. As Tianshan commercial planet, their defenses were not to be underestimated. There were usually 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King Realm experts guarding the planet, but because of the attack on Dragon Palace, there were no such experts guarding the planet. Even so, there were 3 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts, a dozen 5th Order Immortal King Realm experts, and a group of over 100 God King. Boom, boom, boom. In the skies above, towering auras surged into the sky as they stared at the Dragon Palace members that came to cause trouble, their eyes filled with killing intent. Leave them all here, kill. An elder was enraged. It was a great humiliation for them to let the people of Dragon Palace kill their way into Tianshan commercial planet to cause trouble. The experts of Tianshan Sword Sect are here. The experts and disciples of Dragon Palace are quite capable to be able to charge into Tianshan commercial planet. However, their people are still too weak. If they are slow, they will be left here. Dragon Palace wants to launch a sneak attack on the 6 major forces. Although they are not a match for the 6 major forces, their defense is stronger. The crowd on the Tianshan commercial planet discussed in hushed voices. Although sneak attacks will affect the 6 major forces greatly, Dragon Palace will also suffer heavy losses if this goes on. Some experts thought to themselves as they scanned the area in front of them. The Dragon Palace had tens of thousands of Eternal God Lord level experts, but how many of them would be able to escape this time? The experts of Tianshan Sword Sect had used their laws to seal the entire planet. Over 100 God Kings her? Stop them. In a corner of Tianshan commercial planet, Roving Heavens scanned the area and ordered his subordinate. Yes. Immediately, over 100 immortal God Kings flew out. Ha ha ha, since you want to kill the disciples of Dragon Palace, I will destroy your Tianshan commercial planet today. A member of the Dragon Palace roared furiously with a murderous look on his face. His voice echoed throughout the entire Tianshan commercial planet. What? There are still experts from Dragon Palace who have yet to take action. Oh no, there are still experts in the Dragon Palace. Damn it, our shop is doomed. The Dragon Palace is going crazy for revenge. The crowd of customers on Tianshan commercial planet quickly hid to the side. Their faces were filled with fear. Damn it, you bunch of rascals from the Dragon Palace. When we attacked you, you hid in the planet and didn't dare to come out. Now you dare to be so arrogant. Die. In the sky, the experts of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect looked embarrassed when they saw over 100 God Kings suddenly appearing in the Dragon Palace. Their strength is similar to ours. Inform the Sword King and the others immediately. Damn it. Activate the planet protection of Tianshan Sword Sect. We can't let them destroy the planet. Let's stall them and ask for reinforcements from the sect. The experts of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect shouted in a low voice as their faces darkened. There were many immortal God Kings attacking their planet. But according to the strength of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect, they were not any weaker than the Dragon Palace. Therefore, what they needed to do now was to ask for reinforcements from the Sword King and the others. As for them, they would try their best to stall these damned bastard. Kill, kill, kill. The members of Dragon Palace stared at the experts of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect and attacked. Suppress them. The elders of the Sky Mountain Sword Sect roared and attacked with their sword. In a corner of the Tianshan commercial planet, Roving Heavens and the rest were smiling as they watched this scene. The Sky Mountain Sword Sect has a total of 5 7th Order Immortal God Kings. Only 3 of them know the exact location. The other 2 don't know. Let's hope those 2 can hurry over. Roving Heavens murmured as he watched the battle above silently. A total of over 200 Immortal God Kings were slaughtering each other. It was definitely earth-shattering. Everyone in the Tianshan commercial planet fled in fear. The entire Tianshan commercial planet was instantly engulfed in the flames of war. This Dragon Palace actually sent out so many experts. If this continues, the entire Tianshan commercial planet will be finished. The Sky Mountain Sword sect still wasn't prepared. Damn it, we've suffered huge losses this time. To think that the Tianshan commercial planet would have such a day. It's too dangerous. Some god kings hid far away as they looked at the battlefield in front of them with a bitter expression, and the news of the Tianshan commercial planet being attacked was quickly spread out on the artificial intelligence system. Over 100 immortal god kings from Dragon Palace invaded the Tianshan commercial planet. This Dragon Palace is starting to take revenge. This Sky Mountain Sword sect is too stupid. They're already at a point where they won't rest until one of them dies, yet they didn't take any precautions. They actually let so many experts from Dragon Palace enter the planet so easily. I'm not afraid of comparison. Dragon Star's safety is simply too high. Tianshan commercial planet was actually invaded by Dragon Palace's expert. On the artificial intelligence system, all the factions received this news and their faces were filled with shock. Over 100 immortal god kings had invaded. This was definitely a huge blow to the Tianshan commercial planet. Tianshan commercial planet didn't take any precautions. This was a little unbelievable. Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet is also in chaos. Dragon Palace's experts invaded again and killed many experts from the Sky Mountain Sword Sect. Rank 9 Heavenly Sect side is in trouble too. Damn, is this Dragon Palace's sneak attack so powerful? One should know that Dragon Palace had sneak attacked the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet once, and they succeeded again. Just as everyone was discussing about the Tianshan commercial planet being attacked by Dragon Palace, news came from the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet. When everyone received this news, they weren't just shocked. Dragon Palace had already attacked the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet once. Rank 9 Heavenly Sect should have been prepared and had some countermeasures. But now they were attacked again. Was it because Rank 9 Heavenly Sect was too stupid or Dragon Palace was too strong? But Dragon Palace was hiding under Dragon Star's defensive array formation and didn't dare to come out. How could they invade two major business planets so easily? Damn it, how did Tianshan commercial planet suddenly get invaded by Dragon Palace's experts? How could our defensive system not detect it? At this moment, on the Sky Mountain Sword Sect's planet, Sword King roared coldly. Chapter 2598, Lord Sword King, there's news from Tianshan Commerce Planet. They have over 100 undying god kings, with 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts among them. The rest are on par with the Guardian Elder and the rest. Requesting for reinforcements. In the territory of the Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect, an elder reported with an ugly expression. Inform the ancestors to take action immediately. Bring along all the sealing circles in the sect. This time, none of them will be able to return. Since they dare to cause trouble in our Tianshan Commerce Planet, all of them will die. The Sword King roared with a violent expression. His figure moved and he immediately flew out. Su. However, just as he was in the air, a resplendent arrow flew towards him. The arrow pierced through the void, leaving a long mark in its wake as it landed beside the Sword King, who caught death. The Sword King waved his arm, and a blood sword appeared in his hand as he stabbed forward. Peng! In an instant, the arrow and the sword collided, creating a loud collision sound. Wang! The Sword King's figure was sent flying back tens of thousands of meters. 7th Order Immortal King Realm Expert, Archer. The Sword King's expression changed as he stared at the void in front of him. Su, Su, Su. In the next instant, another 3 arrows flew towards him. As the 3 arrows flew through the void, they gradually turned into 3 terrifying wind dragons. The 3 wind dragons intertwined with each other, letting out a deafening roar. Slash. It's been hundreds of thousands of years since anyone dared to challenge me, the Sword King. Today, I will slay you. The blood-red long sword slashed forward as the Sword King roared with killing intent. Su, 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 Su. However, at that moment, countless arrows descended upon Tianshan Sword Sect. Each arrow contained a terrifying power of law. Someone dares to invade our Tianshan Sword Sect. Is it the Dragon Palace? All disciples of the Tianshan Sword Sect, Prepare for battle. Within the Tianshan sword sect, arrows after arrows flew towards the Sword King, causing the entire Tianshan sword sect to be on the move. Countless experts flew into the sky, staring coldly in front of them. Who dares to attack my Tianshan sword sect? Are you courting death? Behind them, the two 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King Realm ancestors roared in anger. At the same time, killing intent surged into the sky. Ha ha ha. I am attacking your Heavenly Mountain Sword faction. Meanwhile, Ao Qi, Mao Zedong, and Ao Xingmu were flying towards them while speaking coldly. Who are you people? Seeing the three 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts, the eyes of the Sword King and the rest narrowed, and their faces darkened. You attacked our Dragon Palace not long ago, and now you're asking who we are. Mao Zedong held the longbow in his hand and locked his cold gaze on the three of them. What? An expert from Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace has so many 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts. When the people of Tianshan Sword Sect heard Mao Zedong, their expressions changed, and they exclaimed, Dragon Palace? You're actually from the Dragon Palace. Good, good, good. How dare you come out instead of hiding in the array? Die. Demon Punishment Sword. A cold roar came out of the Sword King's mouth as he stared coldly at Mao Zedong's group. Kill. How dare you cause trouble in our Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect? The eyes of the other two old ancestors were filled with killing intent as they charged towards Ao Qi and Ao Xingmu. Attack. Today, we'll let the Tianshan Sword Sect know the consequences of offending our Dragon Palace. Mao Zedong roared as the members of the Heaven's Eye Arrow Division and the Berserk Dragon species followed behind him. Roar, roar, roar. The members of the Dragon Palace roared furiously as Ao Qi and the rest charged forward. There are three 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts attacking us. We can hold them off here. Inform the other two old ancestors to head to Tianshan Commerce Planet for reinforcement. The Sword King's gaze swept across the surroundings, and when he saw that there were only so many experts in the Dragon Palace, he immediately ordered an elder. Yes, Lord Sword King. The elder immediately nodded and began to inform the other two patriarchs. At the same time, in an extremely well-hidden crack in the void, two vast and majestic divine kingdoms were pressed against each other. What? Those people from the Dragon Palace dare to attack our Tianshan Commerce Planet? They're seeking death. Boss, kill them now. An old man flew out from an undying divine nation and roared at another undying divine nation beside him. Kill. In the next moment, an old ancestor of the Tianshan Sword Sect flew out and roared with killing intent. The two of them moved and flew towards the Tianshan Commerce Planet at high speed. The war erupted at the Tianshan Sword Sect's territory and the Tianshan Commerce Planet. At the same time, the Southern Star Galaxy's Rank 9 Heaven Sect's territory was also under attack. Compared to them, the Jianhua Corporation and Black Forest Corporation's planet was completely locked down. A strange space covered the entire planet, and everyone on the planet looked around in shock. What was going on? What's going on? This space is the Dragon Palace's strange space. It's the people from the Dragon Palace that locked down our planet. It was located in the Tianshan Sword Sect's territory, on the temporary base of the 6 factions. The Monster Slayer Sect, 3 Seas Sect, Jianhua Corporation, Black Forest Corporation, Tianshan Sword Sect, and Rank 9 Heaven Sect had many Immortal God King experts here. Especially the Monster Slayer Sect and 3 Seas Sect, they were like stray dogs. There were 300 Immortal God King experts here. Including the other 4 factions, there were a total of 600 Immortal God Kings. Among them, the strongest were 6th Order God Kings. But just now, the entire planet suddenly turned into a strange space. Seeing this space, the 3 Seas Sect leader, Monster Slayer Sect leader and the rest's pupils constricted as they roared in shock. All experts and disciples, get ready, it's the people from the Dragon Palace, it's them. The Monster Slayer Sect's sect leader roared with killing intent. It was this strange space that caused their Monster Slayer Sect's Immortal God King experts to suffer heavy losses. Dragon Palace's people? Are they here to court death? How dare they attack us? One of the Tianshan Sword Sect's experts said coldly. Be careful, Rank 9 Heaven Sect, Tianshan Sword Sect, immediately inform the 7th Order God King Lords of your sects. Dragon Palace has 7th Order God King experts. If they attack, we'll be in deep trouble. An expert couldn't help but say, "This strange space can't transmit any information. I have a bad feeling." The Monster Slayer sect's sect leader frowned as he said with an ugly expression, "Ha ha ha, there's no need to be anxious. Dragon Palace has at most 2 or 3 7th Order God King experts, and they need someone to guard Dragonstar. Our Rank 9 Heaven sect has an old ancestor on this planet." An elder from Rank 9 Heaven sect said with a smile as his eyes scanned the surroundings, flashing with killing intent. "Let's go. I want to see how many experts Dragon Palace has sent, and if it's enough for us to kill." Chapter 2599, Su. On the planet where the experts from the 6 great alliances were, close to 600 undying god kings charged into the sky. Boom. Dragon Palace? I wonder if there are any 7th Order God King Realm undying God King Realm experts coming to exchange blows with us. Otherwise, I'll be disappointed. Suddenly, an old man appeared in the sky. He stared at the spot in front of him, his eyes filled with domineering and murderous intent. A month ago, when they attacked the Dragon Palace, the other party hid behind the array, not daring to come out. Today, they never expected that the other party would dare to counterattack. If the other party sent a 7th Order God King Realm expert, it would be fine. Of course, if the Dragon Palace sent one, he would not be afraid. Even if there were 2, he would be able to hold them off. If there were no 7th Order God King Realm experts, it would be a joke. Hey! I didn't expect the 7th Order God King Realm expert from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect to be here. What a pleasant surprise, GGG. In the distance, Ao Fenghuang, the current Imperial Dragon species Saturn Star Tortoise leader Ao2, and Yamata no Orochi walked out. Yamata no Orochi's gaze landed on the 7th Order God King Realm expert from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, and he let out a piercing laugh. The 3 of them walked out from the darkness, followed by a group of experts from the Dragon Palace. There weren't many of them, only 200, with 10 6th Order God Kings and 45th Order God Kings. Chem. The old ancestor from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect frowned slightly when he saw Yamata no Orochi's group walking out from the void. He carefully sensed their strength. GGG, a 7th Order God King Realm expert, 500 undying God Kings, 3 minutes, I wonder if we can kill them all? Yamata no Orochi stared at the old ancestor with a sinister smile on his face, laughing loudly. "Leave it to me, 5 minutes should be enough," Ao Fenghuang said coldly from the side. TSK, after evolving into the Heavenly Lightning Earthly Fire Dragon Phoenix species, your confidence is indeed different. Yamata no Orochi looked at him and laughed. "The 3 of you, let's work together and finish them off as soon as possible," Ao2 said indifferently as he stretched out his arm, and a shield with a dragon engraved on it appeared in his hand. Boom, boom, boom. At this time, his body trembled slightly, and the ground within a radius of over 100 million kilometers directly sank by 1,000 meters. Hiss. This scene caused all the experts from the 6 forces to narrow their eyes slightly, and their faces were filled with shock. Pretentious. TSK. Today will be the day of your destruction. Yamata no Orochi laughed maniacally and charged forward. Damn it, they have 3 7th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Sensing the might of the 8 limitless God King, that Immortal King from the Grade 9 Heaven sect, confirmed their strength, and his expression changed. They could basically confirm the strength of Dragon Palace. They had at most 3 undying God Kings. Since the Array Grandmaster had to guard Dragonstar, there would only be 2 at most. If there were 2, he could fight against them and even hold them back. But now, the enemy had 3 7th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. This, Dragon King, the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire's old Imperial Preceptor, the Array Master, and the 3 in front of him. How many 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts did the Dragon Palace have? A month ago, this kind of strength was already enough to contend with them. Hiss, behind them, there are about 10 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts, and even more 5th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Not good. Why do they have so many experts? We're no match for them. At this time, The experts from the Tianshan sword sect and the other 6 superpowers felt the strength of the Dragon Palace experts, and their faces were filled with shock. How did the Dragon Palace suddenly have so many experts? Break through this strange space. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor roared with a dark expression. GGG, don't even think about breaking through. Yamata no Orokai laughed maniacally, and the sky was filled with poisonous mist, covering the ground. Damn it! The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor saw the terrifying poisonous mist, and his face changed. A lightning plate appeared in his hand, and countless lightning bolts shot into the poisonous mist. Roar, roar, roar. At this time, Ao Fenghuang's figure flashed, and he transformed into his battle form, charging towards the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor. Ao too did the same, transforming into his Imperial Dragon form, and charged towards the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor. How can their strength be? And even I can't sense the existence of the imperishable Celestial Kingdom. If we fight for a long time, I might die here. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor's heart sank, and his face turned ugly. Kill. At this time, Yamata no Orokai, Ao Fenghuang, and Ao too were already charging towards them. Behind them, the rest of the experts from the Dragon Palace charged towards the 3 Seas sect leader, Demon Slayer sect leader, and the rest. There were only 7 6th Order Immortal God King Realm experts here, and they were no match for the experts from the Dragon Palace. Not to mention the fact that the other party had more 5th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Dragon Palace? How can they be so strong? Every single one of them was shocked, and they looked at their surroundings with ugly expressions. Since they couldn't win, they could only run. But very quickly, the experts from the Dragon Palace surrounded them. 6 superpowers, die. A terrifying battle erupted. Kill our way out. The experts from the 6 superpowers gritted their teeth and shouted at the top of their lungs. GGG, there's quite a number of 6th Order Immortal God King Realm experts. Let me deal with a few. Boom. But all of a sudden, Yamata no Orokai narrowed his eyes as he stared at the 3 6th Order Immortal God King Realm experts, and waved his arm. Numerous demonic claws of laws shot towards the 3 6th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Not good. Despicable. A 7th Order Immortal God King Realm expert dares to ambush us. The 3 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts who were ambushed turned pale as they screamed in anger and shock. They thought that the 3 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts would attack the 9th grade Heavenly Sect Old Ancestor first. Who would have thought that the other party would be so despicable as to attack them in an instant? Stop. Even if you have 3 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts, don't even think of disregarding this God King. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect Old Ancestor roared in anger as he waved his lightning plate, and lightning bolts shot towards Yamata no Orokai. Ao 2, help me block them. Yamata no Orokai said casually. Boom, boom, boom. Ao 2 looked at him in dissatisfaction, and with a wave of his arm, a terrifying shield rose into the air. The lightning bolts landed on the shield, but it didn't even break. Imperial dragon species, even the Berserk dragon species and Spike dragon species could not break their defense. If Roving Demon wanted to assassinate Ao 2, he would definitely fail. Of course, Ao 2 could not do anything to Roving Demon and Roving Heavens. GGG, not bad, not bad. Yamata no Orokai chuckled, and with another wave of his hand, he continued to attack the 6th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Hiss, it's over. The old ancestor can't hold back the 3 7th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. One of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect experts raised his head, and his face was filled with despair. A 7th Order Immortal God King Realm expert wanted to kill them. How were they supposed to defend? Chapter 2600. Boom, boom, boom. On the planet where the 6 great alliances were located, a strange space enveloped them. Over 500 experts were fleeing for their lives, their faces filled with despair. The other side had 3 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts, while their side only had 1. What made them want to curse out loud was that one of the 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts did not attack the other 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts on their side. Instead, he was attacking them like a cat toying with a mouse. From time to time, ear-piercing laughter could be heard. This caused them to sink into despair. One after another, sixth-order Immortal King realm experts were being killed. They were already weaker than the other side, and now so many of them were being killed. Everyone was in despair. One after another, Immortal King realm experts of the 6 alliances were killed. Despicable, your dragon palace is too despicable, purposely feigning weakness and finding opportunities to kill us. You bunch of despicable bastards. The 3 Seas sect's leader was on the verge of collapsing. Half of the experts of the sect had died in the hands of Dragon Palace. He had always thought that there was hope for revenge, but they had failed time and time again. This filled his heart with despair. Looking at the experts of Dragon Palace who were attacking him mockingly, his body trembled and he roared with a cold face. Hee hee. Yamata looked at him mockingly as he sent a barrage of attacks towards him. Dragon Palace, you will all die a horrible death, a horrible death. The 3 Seas sect's leader screamed. Kill, kill, roar, roar, roar. One after another, 6th Order Immortal King realm experts were killed. The remaining experts from the 6 alliances were on the verge of collapsing. Their eyes were bloodshot as they gritted their teeth and roared. Now, they were no longer thinking about escaping, they only wanted to kill as many as they could. However, with the huge difference in strength, they could not put up much resistance. One by one, the Immortal King realm experts fell. No. In the sky, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor glared at the scene below as he roared with killing intent. Die for me, he roared. Hey, don't be anxious, it's your turn now. Yamata no Orokai looked at him and roared with a cold expression. Just as the slaughter was about to reach its climax, on the Tianshan Commerce planet, over 100 Dragon Palace Immortal King experts clashed with over 100 Tianshan Sword Sect Immortal King expert. The terrifying shockwaves and powerful law power caused the entire planet to tremble. In all directions, the tourists and shop owners on the Tianshan commercial planet looked at the planet shrouded in energy with gloomy expression. Are there still no experts from Sky Mountain Sword faction? If they don't come, the entire Tianshan commercial planet will be destroyed. Damn it. My shop was destroyed just like that. Some experts looked ahead and said angrily, People of Dragon Palace, you're courting death. At this moment, a roar filled with rage came from the void, and then everyone felt a tremendous pressure. Everyone's expression changed. Even those who were watching from afar felt as if a mountain was pressing down on them. It's the old ancestor of Heavenly Mountain Sword faction. The guardian expert of Heavenly Mountain Sword faction is finally here. Kill those people from Dragon Palace. They destroyed our territory. Kill them. Some people looked excited when they saw the masters of the Sky Mountain Sword sect. Many of them had settled down on the Tianshan commercial planet, setting up shops and companies here. They could be said to be part of Heavenly Mountain Sword sect's territory. Now that their planet was being attacked by Dragon Palace, they naturally did not have a good impression of Dragon Palace. A bunch of small fries, hiding like turtles when we were attacking. Now, you dare to come out and cause trouble? Courting death. Another incomparably cold voice rang out. 2 experts who were covered in lightning and looked like ancient fiend gods walked out of the void, their faces filled with rage. Everyone from Dragon Palace, die. Their gazes swept across the area, and imprisonment circles appeared in their hands. They locked onto the Immortal King experts of Dragon Palace and charged towards them. Sue, sue, sue. When 7th Order Immortal King experts attacked, if they did not return to their god kingdom immediately, they would be locked down by the imprisonment circle. The imprisonment circles floated above the experts of Dragon Palace. Ha ha ha, good, 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 Dragon Palace bastards, let's see where you can run to today. The people from Tianshan Sword Sect who were fighting with the experts of Dragon Palace revealed excited and savage expressions. Once they were locked down by the imprisonment circles, they could forget about escaping. All of these Immortal King experts would die here. There are 2 7th Order Immortal King experts. According to the news from other places, all the 7th Order Immortal King experts are here. In a corner of Tianshan Commerce Planet, Roving Heavens looked at the 2 7th Order Immortal King experts from Tianshan Sword Sect and smiled. The last 2 had arrived. Let's do it. Ao Xingmu took a look and took out an array formation compass. Roar, roar. At the same time, Ao Qi let out a furious roar and charged out from his hiding spot. I've been waiting for you guys for a long time, you're finally here. With a roar, blood-red laws shot towards the two 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts of the Heavenly Mountain Sword School. Wang. At this time, the space around them changed. The sky changed. Su, su, su. Below them, thistles and thorns covered in the laws of nature shot toward the two ancestral masters of Heavenly Mountain Sword Sect in the sky. Hey! What? 7th Order Immortal King Battle Power, there's an ambush. God Kings from Dragon Palace? The two old men saw Ao Qi and Ao Xingmu's attack, and their faces turned cold. Dragon Palace's Roving Heavens, I'm here to take your dog lives. Roving Heavens followed closely behind, and the sea-steadying godly needle in his hand swung out. 3. The two ancestors saw Roving Heavens, and their faces change. Sorry to disappoint you, it's not just 3. Behind them, the Firehammer tribe's old patriarch and a mad dragon from Dragon Palace flew out, and locked onto the two ancestors. Roar, roar, today is the day your Tianshan sword sect perishes. Behind them, a group of 7th Order Immortal King experts from Dragon Palace flew over, and their eyes were filled with killing intent as they stared at the 100 over God Kings from Tianshan sword sect. What? There are still experts from Dragon Palace hiding in the surroundings? Look, are those 5 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts? Shit, this strange space seems to be able to stop us from returning to our God Kingdom. When Roving Heavens group flew out from their hiding spot, everyone from Tianshan Sword Sect looked over, and their faces were filled with shock. Even the domineering two ancestors of Tianshan Sword Sect narrowed their eyes, and they stared at Roving Heavens group of 5 with fear. Why did Dragon Palace suddenly have so many experts?